Today I am going to how to do attack in chess. Conducting an attack is one of the most exciting aspects of chess. Chess database and magazines are filled with examples of beautiful attacks conducted by some of the greatest attacking players in chess, Morphy, Tull, Fischer, Kasparov, to name just a few. But how do they do it? What is the secrets of successful attacking chess? It turned out that almost all decisive attacks following four guiding principles. Please note these four principles. Number 1. Find the right targets to attack. Number 2. Activate all your pieces and bring them into the attack. Number 3. Generate death threats, forcing your opponent onto the defensive. Number 4. Looking for forcing move, combination and strikes. Let us discuss this principle in a little more detail before seeing how they applied in practice by grandmasters. Let us see how the first step of attack are used by grandmasters in real games. This is a game between Carlsen and Wang Hao. The world number 1 on the rating list, the Norwegian Magnus Carlsen, is well known as an outstanding endgame player, but above all, he is an universal player who is capable of playing all kinds of positions. In these games, he shows how to conduct an attack using the four principles. d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop e4, queen c2, castle, knight f3. As usual, Carlsen quickly leaves the most well-trodden path. The main line in this Nimzo Indian is a3, b6 and a bishop move. Although this has been played by a few strong grandmasters, I believe d5 or c5 are better, taking stance in center. e4. Of course, white sees the chance to grab space in the center. c5, a5, knight e8. c cross d4 is strongly met by either knight cross d4 or a3. d5, e cross d5, c cross d5. Clearly, white has won the opening battle. His dominance of the centers give him a strong initiative. d6. Blacks try to fight back in the center. Bishop g5, f6, e cross f6, knight cross f6, castle, bishop cross c3. Giving up the two bishop is a concession, but otherwise the bishop might be standard on b4 once white proceed with bishop g3 and knight e4. Bishop b cross c3, bishop g4, rook e1. White is not afraid of double pawn on f file, as this provide him with play down the open g file. Bishop cross f3, g cross f3. Let us take stock now that the opening is over. White pawn are not a happy sight from a structural perspective, but he has a lot of active opportunities with the two bishops and open e file and g files for the rooks. Perhaps somewhat surprisingly, his king is safer than black. The next step for white consists of activating the remaining pieces bishop f1 and rook h1 and identify targets. Knight bd7, bishop d3. The first target is found and black has to react defensively. The threat is bishop cross s7 check, s6, bishop f4, c4. A good idea, black look for counterplay against the white king, but of course white will never grab this pawn. It is much more important to keep the king safe while preparing the attack on the king side. Bishop f5, knight c5, rook x g1. The first target s7 has moved and white instead put his sights on a new target g7. King h8. Rook g6, preparing to activate the second rook and batter up against the targets on g7. Again, black has to react defensively. Rook f7, rook e g1, queen f8, bishop e3. In my view, most instructive move in the game. White asks himself how he can step up the pressure and infuse his pieces with even more Geminic power. The next move, prepare to transfer the bishop to d4, eyeing the targets on g7. Knight goes d5. So far, black has defended well, but it is too greedy. बहुत लालची. The pawn is of little significance. Remember that attackers don't really care much about material, and it was better to defend g7 with knight h5. The knight on the rim turned out with a stronger defense, and black would still be in the game. A difficult choice, and I am not sure that Carlsen made the right one here. The move in the game is strong and follow the principle, but two other moves were perhaps even better. First, bishop cross s6, g cross s6, queen d2, threaten mate on s6, rook f6, queen d5 lead to a clear advantage for white because black's weak king. Second, the simple bishop cross c5, bishop e6, knight f4, bishop cross f4, bishop cross f7, knight d3 check, king b1, queen cross f1, rook cross g7, king cross g7, and queen a4. Seems to be lead a winning position by force. Knight f6, queen d2. A little move with large effect. The queen is activated and white set up threats on g7 and h6. Rook e8. The last chance for black was knight d3 check, hoping to relieve some of the pressure by forcing white to take some pieces off. After bishop cross g3, c cross g3. White is clearly better, but black is still kicking. Rook cross g7. All the pieces are now in attack position. It is time to look for some forcing moves. White now crashes through at target's points. Queen cross g7. Forced. If rook cross g7, queen h6 check, king g8, bishop f7, wins. Rook cross g7, king cross g7. Material wise, why black is doing okay with two rooks for the queen, but his king is too exposed. White now threatens to infiltrate with the queen on d6 or g6 after queen g3 check. Knight d3 check, bishop cross d3, c cross d3, king d2. Black problem is that he cannot break the pin on the long dark diagonals in a convenient way. The bishop on d4 is a monster, cutting through black king position. White has plenty of time to pick up d pawn and his king. King g6, king cross g6. Rook e6. How to increase the pressure decisively? By including one more foot soldier in the attack on the king. As Kasparov noticed, pawns are also attacking units. h5. Sorry, h4. Rook f7. h5 check, king f7. Knight cross h5 is losing a piece. Queen f5. The queen penetrates to g6, concluding the fine attacking game. Rook e5. Queen g6 check. Even better than bishop cross e5. King e6. f4. Black resigned because after f4, rook f5, bishop cross, knight, rook cross bishop, check, king e4.
The course is structured in three series with three levels. The fundamental level is the easiest one, beyond the basis is more challenging, and the mastery is quite difficult, even for stronger players. The various topics, tactics, strategy, positional play, endgame, calculating, and openings are spread evenly across the 9 volumes, giving readers the chance to improve every area as they work through the books. I am providing ebooks of this full course at free of cost. You have to just give your feedback on our video with your email ID. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and like our video.
White to move and mate in 3. Solve this puzzle and write down the solution in the comment box. I will give you a surprise gift.